Hey guys, so here bringing you another video and welcome back to another Challenger or High Rating Spectate, continuing what we started with Akshan, talking about the strongest solo queue champions. And today, I think unsurprisingly for some people, Ekko has been now featured. Yeah, I believe Ekko is one of the most powerful solo queue junglers specifically, and that's the thing I will very much mention. Do I think this rule also applies to Ekko mid? Not really. I think jungle is actually where he truly is special as a solo queue champion. I believe his tempo is insanely strong. Enemy team looking for an invade, which is quite interesting. Malphite support, by the way, on the enemy team. Nunu is completely just in the enemy. And it is worth mentioning, the enemy red team, they don't have what is very obviously an invade comp. But, and this is where I will say, the higher rating you go, sometimes you play against the same players. I myself recently have played against some of the same players, being now over 200 odd LP master. And you get to learn them. And, you know, like that Nunu, it's a Nunu mid player. I've played against a couple of them. There's like a very small group of Nunu mids now in like Master, Grandmaster. Don't really know why. But if you learn these players, you've played against them a few times, you may know that Nunu goes for an invade every single game. So you kind of get to play against that. But anyway, but yeah, why I think Ekko is kind of his kind of spot is jungle, is his tempo advantage. In mid lane, you know, he can have that good 1v1. He can look to push and then roam. But to me, you're not absolutely utilizing the champion. He is so fast about moving around the map. He can go for crazy plays. And one of the more, it's not really advanced techniques on the champion. Like when I played Ekko, you know, a little while ago, I was doing it. Of when I was using my ultimate aggressively when I was basing. You could literally, if you're doing well as Ekko and you don't really need your ultimate to win combat, you can base, buy, ultimate. You're losing basically... Oh, we missed a camp there. That was bad. You're basically losing no time on the active map. And that is such an advantage compared to the other jungler. It's insane. So top lane, Riven is not having a good start. You can actually also see in the top left, Riven is running cleanse. And you might be like, what? Yeah, one of the biggest things is obviously Renekton is a hard counter to Riven. One of the biggest reasons for it is Renekton has a point and click stun, and that is a major tool against a high mobility champion like Riven. The fact that he can just go W if he empowers it after she's used her E, the shield is negated, and you're holding her still. A Riven that is standing still is a dead Riven, and that's the whole point. Her strength is mobility. So that's why Renekton is always pretty well, you know, matched against her. You still, I would say, have to be a pretty decent Renekton. It can be pretty close. But yeah, Renekton should have the advantage in that matchup. Probably very much up until mid to absolute late game. A Riven most likely will outscale, especially depending what build she goes. Like a Death Stance and stuff would help a long way against Renekton. But yeah. So anyway, the enemy team have some powerful champions, but I will, you know, naturally, their weakness is that they have a Nunu mid. Nunu mid isn't a very good pick. It fundamentally, it's a cheese pick in mid lane that a group of Nunu mains do. It's not great. Its strength is roaming. That's what it's basically all for. So they are looking for it. Ekko is going to come over, just kind of a bit of a glance. Can I go for a gank here? May try to bully the Nunu away, and Nunu's made a grand mistake. Is going to end up dead. Ekko might die. He does die, which again, technically a negative death because that gave the enemy team the 3 kills. But I think the Ekko got a little bit caught out by the Ignite. Twitch now on the back foot. Really good survivability by the Karma. And Riven once again has died. All summoner use in top lane. Both flashes, cleanse, ignite, all used. Obviously, 9 times out of 10, Riven's always going to take ignite because they want to snowball the matchup. But a Renekton against a Riven should 100% take ignite. Now, I think the Renekton should go PTA ignite. That absolute strength. The absolute strength advantage in that lane phase. Okay, Nunu's dead again, but he does kill the Syndra. I think the Syndra overstayed a bit. You can see the farm difference is starting to get very big in mid. But yeah, basically, Riven may take cleanse, 1 to help against the stun, and 2, if she cleanses after the ignite, it gets rid of the ignite as well. So that's probably a double reason. I probably still would take ignite on Riven personally, because cleanse is very much her specializing against, I'm just using this against a Renekton. But if a Riven against the enemy team, that's where an ignite could be better. Her killing a Twitch, for example, would be better to have ignite. But anyway, Ekko farming decently. Bit of a fiesta, obviously, this game. Nunu basically comes back to lane, by the way, and immediately is trying to hard engage on the Syndra. Now, again, one of the other advantages that a Nunu typically will have is his sustain. If he presses Q, he heals a lot of health, and no other mid laner heals as much as him, not even Vlad, really. Riven is asking for some help. Ekko might make his way over, because, again, if the Renekton is 6 in a 1 or 2 minions, and he's got Rage, he may go for a dive. This Renekton, he does arguably need to snowball. He'll E over and look for it. But yeah, he does need to snowball, realistically. It's still a Renekton. He still falls off. So, but yeah, there's the level 6. So he right now could 100% dive this Riven. 100%. Ekko is in the area, so I would expect Riven's going to walk forward. He's going to start the engage. But double stun, minions are dead. Yeah, so the Renekton, I would say, was too indecisive. He didn't get his ultimate off. Like, he was basically like, should I engage on you? And he didn't, and then he got double stunned into a death. So, bit of a misplay by the Renekton. Ekko obviously did get the kill himself. Riven did not. That would have been good for Riven, but yeah. So, build from an Ekko. He is running Dark Harvest, which I would say is fairly interesting. Twitch AD carry, by the way, roaming to mid lane. The farm difference in bot lane is obscene, but that will naturally because of Malphite. And you're like, what? Malphite's not a real support. He offers basically nothing in the actual support category compared to Karma, who shields, who pokes. So basically, Twitch is more or less by himself in this lane phase. And like, Malphite's dead. Nothing he can do. Ekko just killed the Nunu. Actually, let's... because we missed that, let's actually give that a watch. So he's using Snowball while being about half health, is committed for it. Ekko tanks the Snowball, but it does so little damage. Nunu's ulting. Ekko has his ultimate and kills him with the ultimate. So that was pretty nice. Yeah, obviously Syndra will massively outscale the Nunu. She will, well, fundamentally mid to late game, he'll try to snowball her. She'll QE stun him into a W, throw it on, into an R. He's dead in one motion. So yeah, the Nunu, I'm surprised the Nunu hasn't really been looking for roams much. I think that is where he kind of probably should be trying to play the game. Ooh, so we did see Ekko, sorry, not Ekko, Viego is on the blue. This is an interesting, I would say, very aggressive play. Nunu is now a roam. He misses his initial snowball, but then hits the Syndra. Meanwhile, it does get the E, and again, that's one of the most powerful factors about Ekko, is the fact that his E is point and click. Point and click abilities are very powerful. Like we said earlier, Renekton's stun is a point and click stun. You just have to press it and it will go off. Ekko's E is pretty much one of the most powerful things about the whole kit. People can flash away, they can use a mobility thing away. If Ekko has pressed the E and he's clicked on that champion, in the timing of animation and everything, he can follow a flash. You know, that is incredibly powerful. Obviously, as well, Ekko's damage is very high. Survivability is good. And, you know, I'm not sure how many more of these I'm going to be making. But, you know, if I were to do another one, which I might. Today, by the way, it's the day before my holiday. I'm just finishing up making a couple second videos of the day. I might record one more after this. And many people may be able to guess the next champion. Let me know. Okay, comment down below what champion would you guess is going to be next. I'll give you a clue. It's a jungler. Give me a guess which one you think it's going to be. But yeah, Nunu gets a kill on Syndra, which is quite funny. If I had to randomly guess, this Syndra may have just never played against a Nunu mid, which I'd imagine she probably has. But yeah, she is playing quite poorly against a Nunu mid. He is very easy to play against. All you just need is good movement. And the thing that I would say, the reason why I don't think this Syndra's actually played against one, she hasn't rushed Boots. Boots is the major counter. Movement is the major counter against Nunu, because the whole champion is the snowball. If he misses it, he's useless. The Riven getting ganked, but hilariously, Viego was on Void Grubs. He then goes away from them to try and go help the top lane, and that actually lost him all the grubs. And now Viego is mispositioning, and he's going to end up dead. Malphite doing a useless roam. Well, I say useless. It's mistimed. He's not level 6, so he can't even ultimate help, and he's too late for the grubs. So now, Twitch is dead again, most likely. He actually just survived. Wow, that actually went really bad for the blue team. Karma ended up dead from the tower, and Twitch has just survived. So that's a misplay by the enemy team. That should have 100% be a dead Twitch. You see, the Karma is not happy with the misfortune. She most likely thinks she's misplayed. Syndra is in trouble again. She has flash available, so again, I have no idea what this Syndra is doing. She is really having a bad game. You never know if autofill or anything of that nature has happened. But yeah, this should be a relatively free match for this Syndra, but she is struggling. And Karma is still very unhappy with the misfortune. So Ekko obviously farming pretty well. And, you know, there's the kill on Twitch finally. Malphite not happy with the Twitch. But yeah, both teams have got players that are not pulling their weight. Viego is struggling a bit, but then both Riven and Syndra are struggling. So yeah, this is quite, you could even say, an even game. Gold-wise, blue team has advantage, mostly because the big farm difference in bot lane and a decent farm difference in mid. Nunu ends up dead. And then Dragon is now going to be got on again. So Nash's Tooth, I actually think I was going to say this earlier. Nash's Tooth and Dark Harvest, I will say, for me, slightly confused me. I think if you go Nash's, Hail of Blades makes a bit more sense. But obviously, this is technically, I haven't even said, this is the best Ekko, I believe, in the world. He might be rank 1 Ekko right now. Yeah, so he's rank 1 Ekko in the world statistically. Right now, this is a Smurf account, by the way. He's in Master. So yeah, it's a Master account, but it's rank 1 world, rank 1 EU West. There you go. And that's the thing. That's what Ekko can do. As an assassin, the power of an assassin is I one-shot something, they die, but the negative usually of an assassin is you put yourself in a precarious position. I have to put myself in an absolute all-in position to get this kill. I might end up dead for it. But Ekko is one of the exceptions. He doesn't have to risk that much because he just goes for it. And because his damage is simply that high, he doesn't need his ultimate a lot of the time to get a kill. He can use his ultimate to get his health back, to escape. Like, it's so powerful. And again, if you use it correctly, you're very rarely at risk. And there you go. That's what I was talking about from earlier. This Nunu eventually will be just one shot by a Syndra every single moment of the game. He won't be able to play. So Ekko can go back. He got tier 2 boots, and it probably would be a Storm Surge second item. The reason why Storm Surge, one, is extra burst. That's what you're looking for Ekko. And secondly, movement speed. You know, Storm Surge is a movement speed, if I'm not mistaken. And movement speed is a very powerful stat for something like an Ekko. So again, still more mistakes creeping in. Syndra ends up dead. Malphite, by the way, it looks to be going full AP Malphite support, which... no idea. Twitch looking to roam. Misfortune does not have ultimate. Stun gets blocked by the Karma. That was really nice. There's the ultimate from Malphite. And Karma's going to end up dead. But she did, hopefully, nice. Whoa, enemy team is crazy, man. Good flash. Twitch doesn't die, but this could be bad for the enemy team. They're going to be walking in. Bam. Oh, snap. He eats to the Viego, but not to the Twitch. He might, if he eated the Twitch, he would have killed him straight away. And he probably could have come back with his ultimate for Viego. Ekko's going to continue to chase, though. If he has no vision. Oh, he has very little vision. He's looking for him. But I'd imagine the Twitch is out. So there we go. Oh, Malphite. You are brave. I would not go near an Ekko who is 8-2 as a full AP squishy Malphite. So there's going to be the second tower. So first tower obviously was taken because Malphite is support and he's offering nothing to the Twitch. The Twitch has kind of had to lane 2v1 in terms of actual lane pressure. Syndra's completed a first item. Obviously not going full burst, but she'll do a surprising amount of burst. Ekko being engaged on. Boom. Does not hit the Viego with that combo. Is in trouble. Does get shielded by Karma. And again, the better Karmas out there, I've said it always, the better Karmas do not build Malignance. They do not. Dead Nunu again. They don't need it. The shield is the power of Karma. What is the Karma actually maxing? So she's got even points in her Q, which is poke, and she's got even points in her shield. So she's not maxing anything specifically. She's trying to have a powerful shield because that's the strength of Karma. So yeah, enemy team is a little bit of a mess. Renekton, by the way, did just get killed in top lane. So the Misfortune actually going there. And again, that's a completely fine thing to do because bot lane tower's dead, mid lane tower's dead. So realistically, that's where the AD carry should go. If anything, the Riven probably shouldn't have even been there. But yeah, so far so good. Nunu engaging again. Ekko's off to the side. See what can happen. Karma's surviving for quite a long time, but she does end up dead. Nunu gets one shot basically by the Ekko because again, he just simply can't really play the game. You know, pun intended, but the only realistic way an AP Nunu mid can do anything is if they snowball. Again, there's the pun, or the you know, the ironic thing. So why is Ekko not engaging? That he was waiting for the W and his W. Both W's were, well, Ekko was trying to wait out Renekton's W. He was trying to make it be used on the Misfortune, but he was also waiting the cooldown of his own, because obviously that gives him the shield, it gives him the stun. So that was really good patience from the Ekko. Rune set, by the way, Dark Harvest. Sudden Impact is a must, obviously, on Ekko, because he's all about his E. Grizzly Mementos. Nunu gets a kill, but then it's probably going to end up dead. And one auto, doesn't get the vision, gets the Q, and survives. Why does he use ultimate there? He's really overcommitting himself really far in enemy territory. It's very likely someone's going to be there. Ultimate instantly, I'm so far away from you, you may as well give up chasing me. Then Treasure Hunter, because obviously he wants to get as much gold from killing everybody. Cosmic Insight, Magical Footwear, Attack Speed to help his clear, and he's obviously rushing Nashers, Ability Power, and Health per level. By the way, full stacks of Medjai's has been complete. So yeah, Malignant's Rush, full AP Malphite support doesn't seem fantastic. And again, this is like, well, the Ekko's account is like Master 70 LP, but the account's got an 80% win rate. It's very likely that this account is probably playing in either like 500-600 LP Master or even like a Grandmaster game, really. Riven ends up getting a kill, and you can see here with the help of Karma and Shields, nearly killed a Viego and a Renekton, but doesn't quite have the strength to kill the Renekton. Renekton is looking aggressively, which I would say I don't think he should do. Does get stunned, does get W'd. Thank you very much. Malphite just Hex flashed over into the ultimate of Twitch. That's pretty good damage. Twitch, though, does go down in the end. Karma's going to try and get away, but it is a Nunu snowball. Really nice movement, but she's going to end up dead from the E. Ekko's on the way to try and save the day. Misses his Q, but look how much damage this guy has got just with auto attacks alone. Because obviously that is Ekko's, I believe, passive. It's insane amount of damage. So for me, the reason why Ekko is probably, in my eyes, the most powerful solo queue jungler to actively climb with. And like, genuinely, I would say, if you're someone that has been stuck in a rating, especially if you are a jungler and you haven't, and there you go, boom, he's back to full health. That's what I mean. He's the most forgiving jungler, basically. Look at his damage. Yes, he's very fed, but how did he get fed? By being Ekko. This is what I mean. Like, I reckon most junglers in solo queue, and I'm not going to say if you've been an AD carry main or a support main, do I think, oh, just start playing Ekko jungle and you'll climb? No, because you need to know what you're doing in the jungle. But if you're already a jungler or you want to learn jungle, I nearly would guarantee Ekko would help you climb. Because he's easy to play. A lot of his mechanics kind of do stuff for you. The hardest part of the champion is a W, but that's just timing and prediction. You know, that's just one hard element of his kit. The E auto latches, Q, you know, you basically Q after you E and it's a guaranteed hit. Auto attacks. And again, he's got insane damage. His ultimate makes him an assassin that has a forgiving element, because normally an assassin has to go absolutely all in, put themselves in a bad position. Ekko, it doesn't matter. You're in a bad position. Oh, guess what? You just ultimate to safety. It's very powerful. And yeah, he can just fundamentally take over games because he has movement speed ingrained in his kit. And by the way, he did not even go Storm Surge. He probably was going to, but he had enough money for Death Cap. So Death Cap and 25 stacks of Medjai's. Yeah, he's running over 500 ability power with 3 items. That's mental. And, you know, it's the type of thing... Oh, did that hit there? Wait. That's weird. So it didn't officially count as it clipping onto the terrain because it would have actually used the charge. But yeah, and that's what I mean. Ekko one-shots a thing. Normally, an assassin goes, right, I'll kill one thing. I'm now low health. I need to back off. Ekko presses his ultimate. Hey, I'm back to full health. Let's go for round 2, baby. There's very little assassins that can do that. Ekko is incredibly powerful. The Malphite nearly has ultimate, so they will probably be looking for an engage, actually, on the Ekko. If I was the Ekko, I was going to say, I might have gone for an engage myself, and he's going to end up dead. So that's a mistake, a little bit of overplay, you could say. And Syndra also ends up dead. Again, the Syndra has had a bit of a rough game. Obviously, it's got better as the game has gone on, as she's scaling, and, you know, the farm, I would say, I don't know, you know, 82, 71, these are terribly low. For this rating, but it's been a bit of a fiesta game, you know. Twitch wasn't really given a lane phase because he's with a Malphite. they're just going to get poked out massively by a misfortune karma, and there's not really anything a Twitch can do. So build-wise, Shadow Flame has now been completed, so Ekko was running around with quite a lot of gold. And obviously the next objective is going to be Atakan. So yeah, spawned. Oh, he changed his mind. So instead of Shadow Flame, he changed his mind. He actually went for Void because he is incredibly fed. So it's more likely people are going to start building magic resist to try and survive against him and a Syndra. You know, there's a Hex Drinker already emerging. So he's basically getting ahead of what people are already going to build, which is quite smart. So Atakan has been started by Misfortune, which is funny. Nunu is just chilling. He's killing a ward. Twitch's top lane. Obviously, you know, if I was a Twitch, it's, you know, he's not really been allowed to play a game, so it is probably very annoying and demoralizing. And this is where bot lane, I respect people for lane. I respect people whoever mains AD carry or support, because bot lane is a 50-50 lane. And in solo queue, as a solo queue player, you are reliant on another player. And if you're playing an AD carry, you're playing something serious like Twitch, and you go, I'm having a Malphite support with me, well, your game is probably ruined. And there's nothing you can do about it, especially at this rating bracket. So Twitch has come back. There's the auto E of, you know, latching on. Malphite ends up dead. Nah. Excuse me. Got a very dry throat. That's probably the game. This Twitch has just survived so many times. Again, that's the thing. The Twitch went 7-5-6. He actually didn't do too bad. And it's worth knowing, the Renekton you can also see has started to, like, fall off a little bit. There you go. Ekko just dove a God Tower and got the kill on Twitch. And then ultimated to safety. Not many junglers can do that. So, went 23-3. Good farm. And yeah, like, this is Ekko. This is a... I'm not going to say a typical game of Ekko, but did this Ekko do anything actually extraordinary? No. No, he didn't. He did nothing out of the norm. He did nothing mechanically insane, like a mechanical outplay. That didn't happen. He just played Ekko. He played it well. He made good decisions. But that's what I mean. Ekko is not a hard-to-play champion. You can replicate practically most of what happened in this game in 90% of games on Ekko. That's kind of the point. It's why he, to me, is the most powerful jungler if you want to climb in solo queue. You know, that's where, like, he's not a pro play champion, but in solo queue, he's very good. And obviously, there are exceptions. If you've got an AP top lane or an AP mid, you might not want to play Ekko. But my next video will cover an alternative, another jungler, that may be the answer to if you need an AD pick instead. But anyway, that's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you're doing well. Adios, amigos. Goodbye.
Welcome to the Rift, where the legends play. It's us and games bringing skill every day. From tips to tricks and play so fine. You'll learn the game and have a good time. Thanks for watching, you're the real MVP. Hit that like and sub, join the family tree. Like, comment, and subscribe. Keep the Hussy dream alive.